Coming this summer, the most epic GFF podcast ever. Full of epic dialogue.
Yeah, just kick the stand over. I mean, just push the whole thing over. Oh, I thought you were going to go the other way.
And all-out action.
I think we're good to start recording whenever. Okay. We're live.
The new set.
Welcome to the new studio, man. Yeah, this is okay, so sold out episode 11. 11, I'm pretty sure. Sold out. Welcome back, guys. Took a little break there, and this is actually our first time in the new studio, which is super exciting. So
Yeah, finally.
Yep.
Took a while.
It did take a while. It was a long time coming, just getting this thing basically to where we needed it to be. Also, we're doing card breaks now, so like implementing that portion of it was a big process.
Yeah.
But yeah, happy to be here, man. Happy to be back.
And I'm not an interior designer, so it's taken some time, but
Yes, yeah.
I think we'll bring in a plant somewhere and a few little adjustments.
A couple plants. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you've actually done. I think you've done like a really good job with the interior, with the like picking stuff out, thus far at least. But yeah, as far as industry topics, let's dive right into it. One topic that I want to hit first, just because it went super viral, like went transcended sneaker Twitter, was the controversy around the Nike Fly Ease. So for those that aren't familiar, the Nike Fly Ease, it's a shoe that essentially it is outfitted and really efficient for people with disabilities, disabled people. More or less, when you look at the shoe, it's kind of like when your foot's not in it, it's almost like a stands up like a triangle, and then you slip your foot into it, and it like locks into place and locks its form in around your foot when you put your foot in. So it's cool tech. I mean, it's a cool looking shoe. But the problem is that Nike made them limited.
What was it? 1,600 pairs or something?
Yeah, it was.
I think I saw that number.
Yeah, it was like
So ridiculous.
Nike made them super limited, and they did them via exclusive access.
I don't remember that drop.
Was it? Okay, I think there was some exclusive.
I don't think it
access
was
they did for
exclusive
'em,
access.
too.
I thought it was on desktop, honestly.
Okay, yeah, you're definitely right. For some reason, I thought they also did an exclusive access, which would be like super fucked up.
No, they
or super messed up. But yeah, it. So more or less, what ended up happening was the shoes were made very limited, and they ended up reselling because the demand outweighed the supply. And there's profit to be made on them. I don't really know of anyone that ended up actually getting any.
I saw zero like people posting.
Yeah, people weren't. And it's like
in
a
our
corny.
industry.
Exactly, and it would be a corny thing to like flex success on, anyways, especially now. However, resellers are being dragged and flamed and blamed for the entire situation, even though it wasn't really like. I mean, we have firsthand insight into this industry and the cook groups, and people weren't going for these like that. So to see resellers go, like, I saw this one TikTok in particular, it absolutely blew up, just talking about how evil resellers were, and resellers are going to hell if they're reselling these. And more or less, I mean, obviously you don't want to resell anything that would be considered immoral, but this is a Nike issue. Like, let's bring the blame back to Nike on something like this every time.
Yeah.
Seriously, because there's a lot of issues. Sock Jig. I'm sure you're familiar with Sock Jig. So he pointed out months ago, back in like February, when Nike first started teasing this model, he actually pointed out, he was like, nowhere in this ad campaign is the word disability mentioned. Nowhere. And he pointed that out months and months back. And what he pointed out, what his theory was, which I tend to agree with.
I wonder why.
Well, it's
what he thinks.
Because from a marketing perspective, if Nike marketed them as like a shoe for disabled people or people with disabilities specifically, or namely, his theory is that the sales and demand would not cross over well to, non-disabled
Yeah.
consumers, right? Because
Yeah.
eventually, in theory, Nike's going to want to pump out a bunch of these more than likely. So yeah, basically from the very beginning, when these shoes first, pictures, images, and the ad campaign first started, they never actually marketed these directly for disabled people. They used all types of verbiage to like skirt around
To
that.
stay away from it almost.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, well, that's why we made 1,600 pairs.
Right.
They're not actually for disabled people.
They're just, exactly. They just happen to be great for disabled people. It's a Nike problem.
Why would they do that? It's so ridiculous.
It's crazy. I know. It's such a bummer, man, because what they have successfully done. Well, let me answer to why they did that. Why I think they did that. It's because now these shoes are viral. You know what I mean? Like these shoes, to think about it, man, these shoes were not viral when they first released images and some specs on them a couple months back. Now that there's this, Nike loves marketing via controversy. You know what I mean? It's just an ugly truth.
Yeah.
So did they know what was going to happen to this degree? Could they have predicted the virality of this?Maybe not. But the controversy sure has people talking about these shoes. And so when they do mass produce these shoes, you better believe that anyone out there that is disabled or not able-bodied fully that wants these and is upset now because they have been made aware of how limited they were and that they're reselling, whenever they do GR these, they're all going to buy them.
Yeah.
They're going to be sold out or sold probably in much more volume than they would have if they GR them from the very beginning.
Resellers are the fall guy.
Resellers are always the fall guy for Nike.
Well, they have somebody as their fall guy.
Nike loves to blame resellers for stuff. It's actually pretty frustrating sometimes.
Well, who did they blame on the Satan shoes?
Not resellers.
No.
Well, they blame mischief.
They just find a good way to push blame somewhere else.
Well,
any controversy, whether it should be or not.
It's pretty ugly. I saw a tweet last week. It was like, what did it say? It was, Nike funds the resale game like the CIA funded like all of these illegal initiatives. Yeah. So, but then they'll blame resellers and they'll act like they're on the consumer side. One big thing, Nike's whole direct-to-consumer model that they announced officially a year ago that they're going to be pushing for, just getting more, basically cutting out the middlemen, cutting out the mom and pops but sneaker stores, even Foot Locker getting less allocation, and then Nike just selling direct-to-consumer. They say that they're doing it to curb resellers and to curb reselling, but that's just simply not true. The truth of the matter is that these contracts, like these stores, when they get stock from Nike, they're getting it for like dealer price. So it'll be, maybe $80 for a pair of Jordan 1s or $90 for a pair of Jordan 1s. Nike going direct to consumer with this stuff is just going to inflate their profit margins and help them and help their bottom dollar of the business.
Those small businesses.
It's going to hurt. It's going to squeeze the small businesses, and they're doing it. There was an article I saw last week. It said like partner shops could face supply curtailment in efforts of Nike trying to stop resellers or prevent reselling. So again, what is that? That's Nike squeezing their business partners, their small businesses that carry their products. Nike putting the squeeze on them and under blaming resellers. That's their reasoning and logic behind it, is that they're just essentially putting it all on resellers. Hey, we want to stop them. Sorry, guys. You're letting too many pairs get eaten up by resellers, so now we're just going to release them all via sneakers app.
Do you think that could ever happen with, like, in the card market, like Panini, somebody saying, like, hey, we don't want to give this product to
possibly
Target and Walmart because we'll say, like, you guys are causing all these issues in store.
Yeah.
We're going to start distributing them ourselves.
Well, let's circle back to that, because I do believe that it's kind of sinister, man. These brick and mortar stores, like, really help elevate Nike's brand and brand awareness and everything else like that. And now we're in a day and age where brick and mortar shoe stores just don't really have a competitive edge versus online shopping. The only real edge they have is hyped shoes and limited sneakers and maybe finding a gem. But so for Nike to curb the supply on these mom and pops, you're kind of leaving them out to dry a little bit. I mean, what are these stores going to do without hyped Nike products, dude? Drop Yeezy 700 V3s like every now and again. I don't know. It's an ugly thing, and in my opinion, it's just more of Nike shifting blame onto resellers and continuing to pursue their own ventures. The sneakers app's been trending a lot recently too, man. People are so sick of like taking L's on the sneakers app, but nothing's gonna change. People keep entering.
Yeah.
They give out enough wins with enough frequency to keep people addicted and keep people coming.
Yeah, you start winning at a couple of them, and then it's like 6 months you don't win any, and then you win again.
Yep, exactly. Well, another thing, do you remember, okay, so obviously, rest in peace, Mama, rest in peace, Kobe. But remember when Kobe passed, all of the Kobe products on Nike's app and website sold out.
Yeah.
We watched them sell out. We saw like sizes start to dwindle, jerseys, whatever it was. It sold out over a few hours. After everything sold out, Nike pulled the product pages and then made an announcement saying, we've removed all Kobe products from our websites because we don't believe it's appropriate to be selling his products right now in the news and wake of his passing. But then all of us that are like actually watching the Nike app and website, we're like, no, you guys sold everything. Like, what are you talking about? There's no moral high ground.
Yeah.
How are they trying to claim moral high ground? They sold out of stuff, and now they're trying to make it look like they're saints. You know what I mean?
And they've sold so many Kobe's
since then. So
until their contract blows up.
Well,
What? Did it already end?
Well, okay, yes. So, and this is what I was going to get to is, Nike's handling and dealing with the Kobe situation is pretty ugly because, initially in the wake of his passing and the news of Kobe's death, reselling Kobe's was obviously under the microscope. People were like, dude, it's messed up. Don't do it. Don't be doing that. Don't be telling others to do it. Of course, right?
Yeah.
Naturally, people maybe thought Nike would, make a bunch of Kobe's, make them accessible for everyone. They get a payday, people get their Kobe's, everyone's happy. But instead, what they did was limited colorway after limited colorway.
Yeah, just kept doing limited colorways.
Like 3,000 pairs, 2,000 pairs, 5,000 pairs, over and over and over. For retroing Kobe's and new sick colorways. Grinches again. Yeah. And all of them were very much impossible to touch. They were for normal consumers. They
had a lot of Grinches, I think.
The Grinches were higher stock, but for the bulk of the Kobe releases, dude,
not many.
There was like no stock. They were really difficult to touch, and people kept blaming resellers the whole time, and we come back and said, blame Nike. Nike's not. They have the ability. They could produce 1 million of any of these colorways. You know what I mean? They're just simply not. And as a result, we got news just a few weeks back, more or less official news that Nike, the Kobe estate and Nike, that contract's over. So there's not going to be any more. As of right now, there's not going to be any further Nike Kobe shoes produced. At least under the terms of that old agreement. And through the rumor mill, and this was more or less confirmed, what we ended up hearing is that Kobe's family, Kobe's wife and estate was not happy and very discontent with how few Kobe's there were, and people were complaining like,
well, Vanessa Bryant put up like something about last Kobe ever or something like that with Nike.
I think so. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, basically people were saying that Vanessa Bryant in particular wanted to produce more grade school Kobe's.
Okay.
Kobe was super, super big into supporting youth basketball,
he was big
girls
time.
basketball, right? So for Nike to refuse to produce more grade school Kobe's, it's a slap in the face to him and what he cared about and what his estate is continuing to pursue, which is giving Kobe's to people that want Kobe's and want to support him and rep his brand and his name and legacy, more or less. So it's an absolute shame how Nike handled that situation, because now here we are, after all the fallout, the official word is that the Kobe estate is going to be pursuing their own licenses and patents.
Would they ever go to like Adidas?
And possibly producing their own Kobe's.
Like
Would they go to Adidas? I'm not sure, because I was gonna say, without a brand, like
It's pretty
without the
tough.
swoosh,
Without a brand,
without the swoosh, how do you sell the product? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Without the 3 stripes, how do you sell the shoe?
Right.
It's very difficult, I would imagine, to ground up.
You would think that they would have to approach one of the big
that has the
brands.
production capability. They could produce millions of them. Yeah, who knows, man? Maybe that would be crazy. Imagine future Kobe's being like Adidas and just highly produced under the terms of the contract. Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
Yeah.
All I know is that Kobe's as we knew them, Kobe's as Nikes, are sick, and people like them. They're a good performance shoe. People really like playing basketball in them. And it's a shame that we're not going to be getting more of them, honestly. There's really no winners in that situation at all. Honestly, and Nike, did they do a, like, did they make an official statement on that matter? I'm not sure if they did.
I never saw anything from them.
Me neither. But
I feel like you've heard mostly from his family. Or the Bryant, like, estate or whatever.
Yep. Yeah, more of the same of Nike, and they would somehow blame resellers if possible. They would find a way to like blame resellers or someone else for why this stuff goes down. But some more Nike controversy, actually, to keep on the same topic. They've been in a lot of headlines. So there's an artist named Karoo. And several years back, she did a piece. I think it was like a mural or a painting. It was a swoosh, like a Nike swoosh, but it was painted with very beautiful flowers and like pinks.
Very
and
beautiful.
white. No, I'm serious. It's a nice painting.
I'm
I
sure
saw it.
looks
It's a nice
nice.
piece. But you know, flash forward a couple years, months, whatever. And Nike is releasing a shoe with a flower swoosh. I think it's like an Air Force One or something. There's like official images of a Nike shoe coming out with a flower swoosh. It's not identical to this artist's piece. I will say that. And frankly, I do kind of saw, and the artist is upset because she's like, hey, Nike's ripping from, you know, small creators, small artists, and they're using it, you know, for their big global billion-dollar supply chain. I actually am more siding with Nike on this one, and my reasoning for that is because, like, what are they just not allowed to make a swoosh out of flowers? Like, how many custom Nike swoosh designs do you think are out there? Tens of thousands.
So many.
You know, I'm sure someone did a Nike swoosh out of flames. There's probably a Nike swoosh out of smoke. Probably a Nike swoosh. But does that mean they're not allowed to ever, you know, use their own logo and make it look like out of like color?
Oh, well,
with
yeah. I
flames
mean,
or whatever?
legally, she has nothing to stand on.
Yeah, legally, she has nothing to stand on. It's really just a matter of like, do you believe that Nike ripped the design for her? And I would say probably not, because Nike does all types of unique stuff with the swoosh.
Yeah.
The swoosh is like the most identifying thing of their brand, so they're changing it up and kind of customizing it all the time. But there is like an industry problem stealing from small artists with the design contests. You know about this? When like PacSun or like JCPenney or Big.
Oh, when they run these design contests?
Yeah, they'll
and a
run
bunch
a
of people
design.
submit.
They'll run a design contest, and they'll say, yeah, if you win the design contest, then you'll get to you'll receive whatever, like a 5-day trip out to headquarters, 1 free hoodie with your design on it, and $1,000 grand prize. All the while they're taking like all these submissions, taking all the best, and they're doing graphic tees, graphic hoodies, and making millions. So that's a big problem, and that it's deceptive. Obviously, it's not theft because people are willfully submitting their own
Signing
designs.
off on
they're
it,
they're signing
agreeing
off
to
on
the
it.
terms of the contest.
I know. It's crazy. I think PacSun got some pretty big flack recently for hosting one of those.
Because they gave them some board shorts
Yeah, right.
and some wax for their surfboards.
Yeah. What wait, wait, what? Who I don't get the
PacSun?
wax joke. I don't get the wax joke for the surfboard.
It's just like a $2 thing of wax.
Got it.
PacSun, you
Oh,
go there
that was
for
the
wax.
prize. That was
yeah,
the prize.
is like a thing of wax.
That's
and
funny.
Board shorts.
Recent sneaker releases, we had some notable ones, some good successful ones, and some big changes, also industry changes on a few recent releases. Let's start with the Ama Manier Jordan 3.
Great drop.
Yeah. What
Just like Union.
what was your experience? Like, did you get a pair of those? You did, right?
Yeah.
Same. In
I mean, if you got a pair, I got a pair.
I mean, I checked out before you, but
Not even close.
it's all good.
But yeah, no, that great release. If you
was smooth, yeah.
were ready and
Going
I mean, you didn't
manual
have to
on a
be that
computer.
quick. And then like, if you knew like if your size was out of stock, how to quickly change to one in stock. People had success with that.
Yep.
So great drop.
Yeah, I thought it was
was JM Wins last hurrah, and it went just as he had said it would go. So
I suppose it was. Yeah.
it's something where they do not only a new domain. What was it, like 123 humans something?
Go Humans.
It's not only that, because like you could quickly add that new domain.
Mm-hmm.
It from what I saw, they do something where like if you run it in the bot, it has issues with the add to cart on the page.
Okay.
That's what I saw the drop previously on the Bodega drop.
Yeah.
Like you could add that Shopify custom site, but it has like a critical error trying to add the product to cart.
That's interesting.
I don't know if it was same here. I didn't even try it because he said you're not gonna bot it.
Yeah.
So no point in trying. So
Imagine if he was wrong and like Balco
Something
just
did,
dominated the
yeah.
release. That would suck.
that would have been crazy.
That would have been crazy.
It's
It
like
was
just custom site real quick.
yeah.
And they had some way to add.
Stock on those was actually pretty high.
Oh yeah, for sure. I wonder what total pair count.
People were saying based on like order numbers, and obviously there were some merch orders thrown in there, but people were saying that around like 10,000 pairs produced.
makes
possibly.
sense. And
yeah.
then you had some probably 10,000 released prior to that.
Yep.
Local.
Well, I
raffle
I
and
think that
stuff?
10. Yeah, I'm not sure if 10,000 was the estimate for total pairs or if that was the estimate for how many they released on
So you
release
think
day.
it might have included the raffles too and local pickups and all that?
Maybe, but what I do know is the reason why like big sizes were in stock as long as they were on release day, and those were like it seems like they were the most highly produced sizes. It's because the smaller sizes were given
Given
via
to the
raffle.
women.
Yeah, women's raffle, right? So they all the smaller sizes were basically raffled off early.
Right.
So
Makes sense.
yeah, it was a smooth drop, and a super clean pair of kicks too, which is nice.
I'm excited to see them in hand. They look nice.
What a contrast! Last year's Ama Manier release versus this one. You know what I
Are you
mean?
talking
Ama Manier Air Force One.
Ones?
Yeah, Ama Manier Air Force One
Was
versus.
that literally last year?
I think
That's
so.
crazy.
It was definitely 2020, right? Like early 2020, even.
Do you remember what happened that drop? What I got?
Yes.
I got the friends and family version.
Yes. Wasn't it by accident, right?
Way
yes,
before
tell,
it released.
Tell what happened. That's actually sick.
So I checked out a couple pairs, and I opened one of the boxes, and I'm like, wow, they sent me a black Air Force One.
You were pissed.
And then I take it out, and I'm like, whoa, it's numbered out of like, I think it's 989 pairs.
On the shoe, it was
Yeah,
numbered?
it's numbered.
Damn.
It's sick in hand. And so I looked it up, and it's like, this is the friends and family version of the Air Force One.
Yeah.
And then they released it like a year later. Like it was like
Online?
6 months ago. No, like Instagram, you had to win the shoe.
So they were just chilling in the back room.
They have been chilling that whole time.
And they accidentally sent you one on the
And they
initial release.
accidentally sent me one.
That's
Yeah.
really sick.
It
What-
was a sick shoe.
What did you end up selling? it for?
1,525 or something.
That's fire. And
Yeah,
for those
it was
that
like
don't,
one of the few sales on StockX.
And for
obviously, I was the only one who had it listed.
well, and for those that don't remember, the regular Air Force Ones, the highs were just a few hundred, and the lows were like 400,
400 or 500.
Yeah, 400 or 500. So that's a huge cook compared to the ones that the rest
And
of us
then
received.
that same week, I bought that same shoe. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to buy that same friends and family. I bought it off Goat for like $900.
Okay.
They sent me the high Air Force One.
Goat did?
Yes.
Wasn't it pre-authenticated too?
Yes, it was at their place, and they that's why I bought it. It's like, oh, I'm gonna get this before the hype goes up.
But there was never really any hype built up for them either.
There was never even. I don't think anybody else had the shoe but me.
Well, that's
for a year.
That's like a perfect example of a shoe that limited exposure ended up being like the death of the resale. Like,
yeah, I think they're like 1,000 bid right now.
Right, which
Yeah.
like that should be way higher. They're so limited.
sweet
They're
shoe.
iconic. They're sick looking. I mean, especially I think that they should have been way higher around the initial release. Like, imagine if they marketed, "Hey, I'm Amanir Nike collab. These are the Air Forces, lows and highs, and then these are the special."
Yeah, they never
ones."
said anything about it.
No one knew about
I had
them.
no information.
You
on
didn't
them.
even know they existed when you received them. Yeah, that's how little people knew about them. So,
But yeah, that drop people got so many.
with bots,
Brian
with
got what, like
he got like 40.
40.
Yeah, we started calling him Mr. Meunier.
But then I was like, I'm gonna make more off my one F and F than all your highs.
all of it. Yeah, he got a
I
bunch of
don't
the
think
highs.
I made more than him, but yeah.
Still,
really
it
good.
was, but it was like a botters release. You know, Balco. Maybe you could hit manual at first if you were super quick, but this one all manual.
Yeah.
Which is what they were going for, and it speaks to the progress of the industry. And yeah, just some of the changes. Maybe that was a year and a half ago now. Must have
think
been at
it
least a
was.
year.
I
It
think
probably
it
wasn't
was.
2020, but
It would have been
late
November,
2019.
December 2019.
I think you're right. Yep.
So I sold that around Christmas.
For sure. The Yeezy. Okay, so there's been a couple of Yeezy drops recently, and Yeezy Supply has implemented 3DS security checks for their basically a 3DS processor, credit card processor. Yeah, and the result of this, that's for those that are not aware, 3DS stands for 3D Secure. It's basically just another security check on your payment upon checkout. And what's happened is now Yeezy Supply, there's ghost orders.
Yeah, but they've gotten it under control, I think.
The bot developers?
No. Yeezy Supply.
Oh, okay.
Like, it was a huge issue on, what was before the slides? Oh, the 700s.
Yeah.
Tons of ghosts. I used the same profiles on the slides and had a much higher, like, rate.
Really?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think Yeezy Supply made some adjustments, or whoever they're using for processing.
Yep.
I have a good feeling that the next release, it'll be, like, hardly any ghosts.
Okay.
I really think so.
I don't know. I feel like I saw some stuff like bot to bot. Valor didn't really have ghost checkouts.
Really? Bot
yeah.
to bot?
Yeah. I maybe like a false positive being sent on checkout when really it's not actually a checkout.
Well, yeah, that was happening in Dash.
Yeah.
But a heck of a lot more in the 700s.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
From my experience, I use same cards, same profiles.
I hope that
Same
there's
type of
fewer and
cards.
fewer ghosts. I
We'll
hope
know,
you're right.
We'll know after the next release.
Yeah, definitely. But that's I don't know, man. That's a big change. Yeezy Supply for months there was like the last site where no ghosts. If you hit, you were getting shipping, no cancels, free returns. It was like the last hurrah. So as far as
If I put my money on it, I would say this next time there's going to be very few issues, if any.
What is the next Yeezy drop?
It's the 500s.
That's this week, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sick.
In Flames or whatever. Mm-hmm. They're cool.
Yep. There are let's circle back fully to some of the Nike direct to consumer conversation because there is another rumor circulating about Panini switching their business model more to a direct to consumer.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
Model.
that's what I was thinking they would do.
Well, do you remember a few weeks ago when they dropped the NBA Hoops? It was a 2021 NBA Hoops blaster boxes on their website for $50.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people were thinking that was like them testing out
To see
direct
what
to consumer. Hey, will they sell out? Are they going to sit? Is anyone going to buy them? And they did sell out. It's crazy because how much do you think Panini's selling these like a blaster box to Target or Walmart?
Right. How much are they getting from them?
Yeah. How much do you think if you had to guess? Like $3?
$4 or $5?
$4 or $5 selling for.
Max.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe
when
more
they-
though.
Maybe 10, and they're selling for double. But even if they're selling them to Walmart for $10 a
I don't
blaster,
know. Now that I think about it, do you think Target and Walmart are getting margins like that? It may be very slant. Like they may be getting 15%.
No, I don't think so. And that's because of how Panini MSRPs are with hobby products. Like, these hobby shops are getting UFC Prism hobby boxes for $100.
Yeah.
From Panini. You know what I mean? So I bet Target and Walmart have great rates on these products.
They could.
So if Panini were to switch to direct to consumer, there's a ton of money on the table there. It's just a matter. I would think it's more a matter of logistics,
infrastructure.
Like,
do
how
they
on
have
earth?
The trucks? Do they have the warehouse? The people that can do the packaging to all these individual customers?
Now, this isn't a random conversation, because there was actually a screenshot circulating. You sent it to me.
Yeah.
You were
this
the first
guy I knew, who's a breaker, and I sold him some stuff. Sent it to me, and then I was like, shit, is this real?
Right.
And it talks about like Panini canceling their
XL contract, their MJ Holdings. So what it is, it's a screen. It's like a small little screenshot from what is a Facebook thread. Ended up being a Facebook thread of someone basically saying that starting January 2022, Panini is ixnaying XL and MJ Holdings and Walmart and Target contracts completely, and they're going to be going direct. They're going to be releasing direct to consumer via their website and their app exclusively. Now, when I first saw it, my initial reaction was, well, I hope that's not true, right? We like some diversification as far as where stock's going. But it just seems it seems larger than life. It seems like it would be an impossible task, but also kind of dirty, because you think if they were to do it, because you think about all the years that like the sports card hobby was more or less dead.
Yeah, and they relied
on Walmart and Target to move their products. Like Panini needed them for many years to sell any type of volume. So now that all eyes are on Panini and people are all obsessed about their products, now they're just gonna like cut off Walmart and Target. It'd be a pretty dirty move, but I guess that's big business. So who knows? I really truly believe that those screenshots are definitely, actually, I know for a fact the screenshot's fake.
Yeah, they're fake.
Because who was the guy? It was like it was the product lead, product developer of Panini, went on Twitter and was like, I normally don't address rumors, but this one's getting a little bit of traction, so I just want to say this is not true.
And they may have contracts that are like 5 or 10 years.
Decades.
And so they can't make a change this quickly anyways.
Exactly, in a number of months like that, it would seem super unlikely. Yeah, because even their contracts with the leagues, like with the NBA.
Think how long they probably are.
Yeah, for sure. The UFC Panini contract is pretty new.
Do you know how long it is?
I don't.
Yeah.
No, I really have no clue. All I know is there was a big deal as far as a big contract for Panini, which led to the hobby product and Prism cards. Yeah, it's pretty sick. Well, new podcast, new week, new changes to Target release methods.
I can't wait till this isn't a topic.
It's not my fault it's a topic.
I know. They're just so lame.
Yeah, Target's super lame. I like how Walmart, it's so funny how Walmart does it, man. They just like, you know what Walmart does now because of how chaotic these card releases are? It's insane.
I mean, it seems like they just drop whatever they've got at one time.
They fill up in-store.
Oh, in-store? No, I don't know in-store.
Walmart will just fill up like 3 grocery carts filled with all the product and just push it into the people and say, here you go.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and people literally will be like, dropping elbows on each other.
They should make it like an obstacle course, and you have to run through the obstacle course to get it.
That'd be awesome, like a physical challenge. Yeah, right. I think they'd catch a little bit of flack for that for sure. But it is kind of what it is. Like, imagine you're like a small how are you? Yeah, people are literally needing to like drop bows on each other to get into these.
You could just crawl under everyone, Garrett.
Crawl
under and.
Not a bad strategy, honestly.
Maybe not.
But it's just chaos. But that's Walmart just being non-committal. Walmart recognizing we don't make enough profit from this stuff for us to care that much. Let it go. Push it to the floor. They'll buy it all.
And Target's so serious.
They keep changing it up. So
they're like the substitute teacher, and you're like, yeah, this is sweet. And then it's like, holy crap, you're taking this more serious than my
regular
typical
teacher. Yeah, exactly.
Get me out of here.
They really, yeah.
I'm sick.
When
I'm going
Target
home.
cares more about resellers than any other retailer in existence, it's so weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so literally as of this morning, recording the podcast, there is a new Target sign out today saying the sports card event will no longer be a Friday event.
Yeah.
Product will now be put on shelves as it is received throughout the week. So they're literally reverting back to the previous release methods.
Just with a limit on it.
Just with a limit on it. So that's the difference. Is like I'm sure they're still gonna have a hard limit of 1 per.
Yep.
And that's really gonna be the only difference. So
somebody making a lot of money is making some very great decisions.
yes, someone with a $600,000 salary.
Yeah.
Their whole job is changing the release. They're just like
they got that degree though, so they're making good choices.
They're pontificating on Target release methods for the
$250,000. Chapter 4 of Business 101.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Dang, that was an important day.
It's funny. Another pretty big change as far as the card industry, sports card industry, is eBay is actually rumored to be making some changes.
Oh yeah.
For the rule, for breakers, like those who sell spots for box breaks on eBay. I was reading the other day that some people were having issues of eBay maybe removing their listings, taking down listings for people not receiving. Okay, so I'm all over the place. I'm going to start at the beginning with this. For those that don't know, a box break is just simply, hey, I'm going to sell slots to this pack or box of cards that I'm breaking open.
Yeah.
They could be in a bunch of different ways, like, card 1, 2, 3, 4, pack 1, 2, 3, 4, and you buy one of those at random, or maybe individual teams. You buy like the Patriots, you buy the Falcons or whoever it is. And then any cards that are pulled under whatever category you've purchased or selected, that's what you receive. The issue is on a lot of these breaks, especially the team breaks, when people buy like New England Patriots from a box of National Treasures or something like that, there's no guarantee that there's going to be a Patriots card in there. So... And eBay didn't like that. eBay's like, nah, they got if they're buying these, they need to be receiving some type of product. So people were like charging back and claiming like fraud and claiming that the sellers scammed and all types of stuff, which caused a lot of issues for breakers on eBay and in terms of their listings. So that's something to keep an eye on. There's no like definitive statement that I know of that eBay has made on this, but I do know that they're kind of clamping down the restrictions for box breaks, box break slots, because truly when you look at it, they're not really in line with how eBay store is supposed to be operated. So yeah, that's an interesting thing. I know people sell you can sell them elsewhere too, like Instagram and stuff, but there's no buyer protection on Facebook or Instagram. Yeah. So for the breaker community as a whole, I would say it's pretty imperative that eBay continues to allow it, and I hope that they do, frankly. Yeah. Let's talk a little about just like NFTs and just Top Shot, I guess. And there was a news headline the other day. I'll see if I can find a screenshot of it, but it was CNN saying, it was literally a headline, all bold: Top Shot customers cannot pull out their money, and just bad PR overall. From the very beginning, Top Shot has created all of these hoops and bells and whistles and systems and methods that you need to jump through in order to actually withdraw your money and take profits on your purchases. And people are sick of it. It's been months. Yeah. People have been able to reclaim a very small percentage of the money that they put in overall. I'm not speaking to everybody. I'm sure that there's some people, or I'm not speaking for everybody. I'm sure that there's like some people that got in really early with Top Shot that are more than content with the amount of money and profits they've been able to take. I'm speaking for the majority of people that got in when they did. They're not able to take any profits, and as a result, the market values of these Top Shot moments are just going down, just like slowly but very steadily.
Can take out money, they're just taking it out.
Anytime people can withdraw, they're withdrawing, and what it just removes money from the Top Shot network and market, and as a result, all the prices go down. When I saw there were some big conversations happening on this the other day, And I was thinking in my head, I'm like, wait, what? People aren't keeping these LeBron moments to pass down to their grandkids? Like, obviously, this was never Top Shot moments were never anywhere close to physical collectability.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Exactly. It was flippers selling to flippers, resellers selling to resellers, and that's what inflated the market to the degree that it was. And now it's just kind of like the air is slowly coming out of it.
Yeah, we'll see it continue.
Yep, and NFTs are just 2 months ago, everyone's like, the future, the future, the future. But now everyone's like, hey, shut up. Stop saying NFT. I don't care about your NFT.
Everything's NFT.
Everything's NFT, right. And because of the tech of being able to token, like, it is amazing tech to be able to tokenize and, like, prove ownership on, like, basically anything digital. Like, that's awesome, right? But the problem is people are realizing no one cares. Yeah, there's got to be, what's the use case, right? Bring it back to use case. You were the one that really hammered that in hardest for me at first.
You've got the video game digital assets that have literally, even since the past 2 or 3 months, Counter-Strike has just gone through the roof.
Yep.
And that's probably a little bit because of the NFT craze.
Right.
Because these actually are sick digital assets, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it just skyrocketed. But I think the NFTs where there's literally nothing you can do with them but look at a picture.
Yep.
See ya.
Like Logan Paul was super early to NFTs,
like
and
he
sold for a lot.
What are those worth?
Oh, probably nothing. Like, it's a digital picture of Logan Paul on a Pokemon card. It's like, and some of them, and they were and then some of them were numbered out of 5, and some of them, but he made a killing because he was early. People were like, oh my god,
like Gary V's about to do.
Yeah, Gary V's been hyping up this. It's so cringy.
That guy, like 2 or 3 years ago, I was like, oh, this guy's cool. Like, I even had emailed him and his little friend. Like,
about some
and
stuff.
Now I just am so disgusted by the whole thing.
Gary V.
It's just
he just pumps the absolute hell out of stuff, and it's
I
pretty.
just don't like him
it's
anymore.
pretty corny. Yeah, he's been hyping up this whole big thing. He like 5 5 5 5, and it's just gonna be like it's gonna be some type of NFT garbage. But any of the influencers that started selling NFTs 2 months ago, they made bank. They made really, really good money.
Most things are about money or power.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Just interesting to see some of the changes, and I mean, we kind of knew where this was going, and I don't want to say like I told you so to people, but we definitely, it's like it was kind of obvious.
Anybody with like their head on their shoulders could have seen it.
Could have seen that these aren't collectible in the same way. Pokemon cards are. So awesome, man. Let's do you want to hit this week's leaks?
Let's do it.
Okay, perfect. What was the first shoe that we had? It was
Stingwater
dunks. Yes
those have been coming,
magic. They were like the Stingwater magic mushroom dunks, right?
Really cool.
What do they have on those that they almost look like to me they look like a strawberry. I don't know why.
To me like some kind of fish almost.
Yeah.
With speckles on it.
Okay. They're decent looking. I mean, they're probably going to be just dumb limited.
Yeah.
Just insane, like, impossible to touch, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Or like skate shop exclusive. Maybe, yeah. When are they supposed to drop?
Yeah, I don't know if they're tied to a skate shop. I don't remember.
When are they supposed to drop?
Date specifically? I don't remember.
Okay. But yeah, nice pair of dunks. Overall, the dunk market has just kind of been like a slow decline. People are a little bit bored with new dunk designs. So many of them. I mean, too many of them.
The Malibus didn't do all that good.
Yeah.
They were okay, but
yeah, the 420 dunks this year, in my opinion, were like a little bit chaotic to look at. Definitely not as nice as the last couple of years iterations of 420 dunks. But yeah, they're like $300-400 for how limited they are. That's really, really low.
Yeah.
Next shoe we had on the list was the Travis Scott Fragment Air Jordan 1 Low.
I saw those.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I still think that the Travis Scott Fragment stuff, it's just so
overdone.
It's kind of lazy, and I don't love them. The way that the color blocking is, there's so much white on the back of the shoe that it just looks off. It just doesn't look like a correct balance. And people keep calling it a lazy collaboration, and I mean, it really was. All they did was they took the fragment colorway that they had already done, Travis Scott backwards swoosh that they had already done, and just said, boop, Okay,
Yeah.
we'll do both of them. That's lazy. There's really nothing new to it. And don't get me wrong, we're gonna be going full throttle for them,
yeah.
obviously, because hype beast culture. People are gonna buy them up, no doubt. It's really just a matter of like the design itself. Just think about that. Travis Scott, Fragment, Jordan Brand. Like they could have done so much with that. It's not even funny. How about the have you seen this? It's an Air Jordan 6 Low Day of the Dead.
Nope.
Okay, you haven't even seen it. Well, it's it just leaked
is it
pictures
for
right now.
October? Like it's
Day of the Dead.
for Halloween.
You would think so, but there's just early leaked pictures right now. So as far as release date, stuff like that, literally no clue. Just saw the picture, and I don't love it.
Jordan, how about the other ones that are leaked? The
Which
ones with the owl eyes on it? Aren't those a Halloween shoe coming out?
What are those?
The Dunk, I think. The Halloween Dunk coming up this October.
Did we talk about those already?
I don't know, but that shoe
I actually think we talked about the new Halloween Dunks on the last this
we
week's
may
leaks.
have, yeah.
But let's talk about them again.
I
like
those are
them. They're
better
fire.
than a Jordan 6 Low.
Me too. Oh, yeah, you're probably right.
Well, for one thing, couldn't wear orange shoes, I don't think.
Right.
But
How about new Union Jordan 4?
I love those. The accent, like it's like an ice blue, and then you've got like the green.
Yeah,
too.
some like nice light green.
Really cool.
It's almost like a similar colorway to like the taupe haze Jordan 4.
Yeah, they're called
like
taupe something, right?
Yeah, they're sick, dude. I think that
cool.
they're really, really cool. I don't think that I like them as much as the Guavas. The Guavas would still be at the top of my list for me as far as the Union 4s. But yeah, those are sick, dude. It's funny too. The first pictures that leaked of the Union 4 collab were from like Rep God 666 or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was like
The
watermarked
handle
right
was
in the middle of the picture.
Yeah.
So, yeah, awesome. Should be a big couple months of releases coming up. Looking forward to it, man. I think I'm good.
Dude.
You want to wrap this one up? I got nothing else.
Do it.
Cool.
First one done in here.
Awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks, guys.
it. Till next time, man.